weekend, a record number of wildfires broke out all across Wisconsin. Now, one of them destroyed 2 homes and several outbuildings near Minong. Northern News Now's Michaela Wrench was there today, learning how quick action by several small fire departments saved many more homes.
The Wisconsin DNR this past Saturday helped fight 48 wildfires statewide. And this is the result of one of them, which burned 191 acres just north of the Minong area.
We did have structures impacted almost immediately on that fire, so we brought in some resources from Minnesota.
Officials say 2 mobile homes and fire outbuildings were destroyed, but crews were able to save 10 homes and 23 other outbuildings. Garrett tells us more than 7 Northwest Wisconsin fire departments and a plane helped keep all those people from losing their homes. And that success is thanks in large part to close coordination.
Wisconsin DNR fills a memorandum of understanding with all the local fire departments. We do a lot of training with them in the off-season just to prepare for this kind of event.
The Gordon Volunteer Fire Department was one of the teams that showed up to the Minong fire.
4 firefighters and two fire trucks respond and coordinated with the Minong Fire Department and the DNR.
He said the dry weather makes this time of year a higher risk for wildfire.
Right now in the spring is obviously a very dry time of year. We have a lot of seasonal people coming back to their cabins and doing a lot of yard maintenance.
Jim Leckie says raking and cleaning off debris in your yard is something that could help protect your home and property. In Gordon, Michaela Wrench, Northern News Now.
Great work by those small fire departments. And folks in the city of Gordon have a town dump where you can take debris instead of burning it, which will reduce the chance of starting a fire.